Hey, morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thanks. So, please, if you're not a speaker on the call, just make sure to unmute yourself. Much appreciated. So we're not going to have background noises. Uh, Small glitch over here. Cannot get the session to go live on our platform. So we're just going to have this session over here. People can, we'll keep. I see that people keep joining us as well, which is great. Um, Very excited about this call today. We have, first of all, Alicia Weintraub, the mayor of Calabasas. We're going to start with her in a few seconds. And then we also have Michael with Elite Group Home Inspectors. He's going to give his insight as a home inspection group. And we have Louis Vasquez, tax strategist and a CPA. He's going to give us shed some light on what's going on with that aspect. Alicia, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Alicia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time and joining us as well. Much appreciated. So, we would love to hear from you, first of all. What are you guys going through here in the city? You guys been extremely busy. I've been following you since the beginning of the crisis. And what can you share with us and those who are viewing and listening? From a mayor point of view.
So, city has been taking aggressive steps even before the governor. We've been aligned with the city of Los Angeles from the beginning and went even above the county of Los Angeles with our own stay-at-home order. And we shut down businesses from the beginning, like nail salons, hair salons, anything where social distancing could not be guaranteed from the beginning. Also, before the county initially said gatherings of 10, you could have at 10 people. We went in alignment with the city of Los Angeles, did um, zero. We did not want gatherings of any size. So all of the city parks have been shut down, trails and everything. And what we're really concentrating our efforts on are just making sure that people are staying home and that only essential businesses are operating. We're really trying to assist those residents and businesses who need to file for unemployment and who are struggling from a financial standpoint. So we're trying to make sure that all the information gets out there and just help the vulnerable populations.
Right. Roughly how many businesses in Calabasas, if you have that information top of your head?
Yeah, there's a few hundred because it's not just the retail ones you see on the store, but all the businesses shuttered in the office buildings and everywhere. But construction isn't allowed use, so we've been, when people complain that they're seeing construction work, we have to explain what's happening and what is allowed. So it's just a lot of communication and outreach with the community.
Right. Well, it's definitely challenging, and my guess is like any other place, there's a lot of unknown as well, and it's gonna just
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So if
Mhm.
there's anything that you or anybody else needs, just feel free to shoot us an email and we'll do our best to assist.
Of course, and once again, you're and the all the council members doing excellent job. I mean, not just during the crisis, like since the beginning of your partnership and
Thank you.
involvement with the city.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
you.
what can we do? When I say we, is real estate professionals or residents or visitors in Calabasas. How can we support?
I mean, really urging people to work remotely. As much work as you could do remotely, the better, because as we're seeing, you might just go out for one home inspection or meet with one client, but then that one client's been with somebody else, and that's just how everything keeps spreading. So whatever innovative ways people have to do real estate during this time, we suggest doing it.
Yeah. Is there is there anything on your end? I mean, once again, Calabasas, the way that you guys run the city, very structured, very organized. Do you see any big impact right now on the city, or how do you guys preparing for what's going to come next with all the
We're taking it by day,
Mhm.
with no sales tax coming into the city or very little, huge
Right.
hit to the city's budget. We're, no employees have been laid off. All essential services are continuing. I mean, potholes are being fixed. I mean, workers are out there doing what they need to do. Police and fire are running the same way they did before. So, except the difference is if there's a non-emergency complaint, they'll do that on the phone. But we're just trying to keep the city running as smoothly as possible, but just from a remote standpoint.
Yeah. Are you yourself? Are you working remotely, or you guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
remotely.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Well, reach out if you have any questions or need anything.
so, Alicia, what is the best email for us to reach out if
It's A as in Alicia, Weintraub, WEINTRAUB @cityofcalabasas.com.
got it? And people right now, the viewers can see your name on the screen as well, so they can get the right spelling as well.
Perfect.
Um,
Perfect. And just reach out with any questions and we'll do our best.
Yeah, and thank you as well for the often frequent emails that you guys send out from you and from the city. It gives us a lot of better up-to-date information of what's going on.
Thank you. And there'll be
So
another one coming out this week.
got it. Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure to share that too with whoever's watching us if they're interested, so they can stay up to date with what you guys are doing.
Yeah, you can subscribe on our city website for all of our e-notifications.
Yeah, which is cityofcalabasas.com or
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, okay. And on a personal note, Alicia, how's everything with you, the family? You guys doing well?
Everyone's good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I have to go get on a call with our city manager, so I'm going to hop off.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but thank you for having me. And again, the city's here as a resource.
Thank you so much, Alicia. So,
and we'll talk soon.
Much appreciated. Alicia Weintraub, Mayor of Calabasas, thank you so much for your time and for sharing a little bit of what you guys are going through. And I'm going to share those links afterwards, both Alicia's email, the Mayor of Calabasas, and the city's website, and the best link to subscribe to their frequent news. It's important, especially if you live in Calabasas, work in Calabasas, like any other city, just to get to know exactly what's going on. Thanks again. And once again, whoever joined us recently, we had some tech difficulties this morning, broadcast live on Facebook. So this session is recorded, and I'm gonna share it afterwards on my page. So apologies in advance to whoever's gonna watch afterwards and you didn't see it live. Let's get Michael Johnson on the line. Michael?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Michael with the Elite Group Inspection Professionals. So we'd love to hear from you. You guys been around for quite some time, and a few of our offices working with you guys. And what I'm curious to know, and also a lot of agents that reaching out and asking those questions, between number one is, first of all, your perspective, your point of view as the pro in the field, what you guys are experiencing, how you guys are handling the situation, what kind of support or resistance are you guys dealing with, just for us to know the inside of you guys. Number one. Number two is, now that real estate in most areas considered to be essential, but still businesses as still under restrictions of there's no face-to-face or what have you. If you can address that too, Mike, much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. So when everything kind of got really sketchy a couple of weeks ago, our call lines were so flooded with worried real estate agents who just opened escrows and wondering, "Well, how can we get in on this inspection? I got to get this deal closed. What are we going to do?" And my office is trained so well and did such a fantastic job at reaching out to everybody and keeping everybody calm, because think about it, you're making the biggest purchase you're ever going to make in your life during a crisis. How are you guys going to handle this? Are you going to be able to even do inspections? We got calls from agents that never used us before saying, "My other home inspection company is not even answering the phone right now. What are we doing? How can we do our inspections?" So we reassured everybody we have 65 inspectors. We're able to handle something like this in a heartbeat. Now, we lost about 5 or 6 inspectors because they were a little older. They had a couple of health issues that they were dealing with, and they didn't want to risk going into the field. So we understood that. We gave them as much time as they wanted. A few guys actually took their vacation time, and so we've still got about close to 60 inspectors still working in the field. So the first thing we did was all of our inspectors are certified through InterNACHI. It's the best educational certification board across the board, across the whole United States of America. They're so educational. So InterNACHI put together a certification that certifies every home inspector in the health and safety of the public. It is a 5-hour course, and every one of our inspectors went out and got certified, including myself. And it was a 5-hour course, and I don't know if you could see this, but we all got certified in this, so you have peace of mind that all our guys know exactly what to do. And this was a big concern because we have to protect ourselves with face masks, number 95 face mask, gloves, suits, and everything that keeps everything clean that we touch. The big concern was, do we have enough of these supplies to last us the rest of the year? Do we have a back order for this? Because this is what you want to see as a home inspector. You want them to be as protected as possible, and definitely have enough supplies to last you for a certain amount of time. So we stock up on all our supplies. All our guys are very educated in how to keep a distance. They went through all these courses. And we were asking the homeowners that are occupying the home to not be there. Before, it was like we didn't mind if they were there or not, but we're asking them to definitely not be there during the time of the inspection. We want them to move every item they possibly can, so our guys aren't touching any items inside the home at the time of the inspection. We're also actually asking some of the clients, if you don't have to be there, we suggest you don't be there. But if you need to be there, absolutely no problem. We've definitely let them know that it's no problem for you to be there. We're just going to keep a 6-foot distance. Of course, you don't want your kids to be there. So we just maintain a certain amount of distance, a cleanliness, and we're reassuring the clients. We're calling them the day before, letting them know, hey, we're going to be there. We're going to be here between these hours. Make sure no one's around, and just we want to keep a safe distance from everybody out there. And safety is of the utmost importance in this whole thing. And just reassuring everybody that we're going to be able to get through this. Now, we haven't really experienced too much of a slowdown. I've only had one inspection cancel in 3 weeks, and it was because a gentleman had lost his job, unfortunately. But that was one of the only ones that actually canceled. Everybody else is following through with their home inspections, and it's pretty much business as usual. I think reassuring the agents and the clients that we're going to be in and out as fast as we can to make sure we're going to still make sure we do a great inspection and a very comprehensible inspection. We're going to upload that report so they see that report as soon as humanly possible, and just get it in and out and still be thorough at the same time. And our guys are educated. They're pros. They're used to doing they're not used to this, but they're used to implementing things that they're not used to make sure they do a professional job and make everybody happy here.
Right. Yeah. Great input. Good information as well to know. What do you guys running into any kind of issues when it comes to, I don't know, being stopped by law enforcement, or I heard a couple of things. Depends on the counties. Right now, I've heard that, and we are just waiting to confirm that Ventura County, for example, doesn't consider real estate to be essential business, even though from the governor there was a different order. But cities, I guess, like local cities can or counties can do whatever they choose to do. Are you guys running into any issues in different areas of the county, city?
No, absolutely not. And it was great that Carr made a statement recently saying that home inspections and real estate is a very necessity time at this time, no matter what. So that's helped us out. At first, people were balking about that because their first report was to not do inspections, but they kind of changed that since. We haven't ran into any permit issues. I think Moreno Valley is one of the only areas that if you're doing a service like ours, you need to have a permit, and they've always had that. So even before the COVID virus. So we're not running into any police officers shutting us down. All of our cars are marked with elite group home inspection gear and icons. So they know we're doing home inspections, but nobody's been pulled over or harassed in any way.
Question from Luisa. Is there a checklist that we can give to our sellers that what needs to be inspected so they can move furniture, open doors, or kind of prepare the house ahead of time to a certain extent?
Yeah, well, a basic checklist. We are not going to move any pictures or move any ottomans or anything huge, but most light sockets are easy to get to. I would say just clean up the clutter, make sure there's nothing that my inspector has to move. Basically, we're going to look at all the electrical, we're going to look at the plumbing, we're going to look at the electrical panel, we're going to look at the roof. We're going to look at the vents and the HVAC systems. Most of those items don't usually have anything in front of them, but just use basic knowledge, what you think an inspector is going to look at, because we're going to look at electrical and plumbing and the roof and the attic, stuff like that. That is a basic checklist right there. Just remove the clutter as much as you possibly can.
Right. Did you, thank you, Luis, a great question. Did you come across with one of the inspections, traditionally, right, you're going to have the listing agent on site, the buyer's agent on site, the buyer, the seller. In most cases, we in different times right now. Are you still seeing this happening, or the buyers trusting, give more trust to you guys with, okay, go out there, do your thing, and give me, let's have this more, virtual relationship. Give me the report. I'm just going to go page by page virtually or wherever I'm at, and we can have a phone call or video call. Is that what you're experiencing right now?
Yeah, actually, the buyers are little more hands off, and the sellers, we haven't had any problems with sellers being around, so they're vacating the premises pretty easily. But we're lucky to work with great real estate agents that reassure their clients that, hey, they're working with the Elite Group. I've been working with the Elite Group for over 20 years. Let them do their job. They have incredible reports, and that's another thing about the Elite Group is our reports are so detailed and so easy to read that you don't even have to be there at the time of the inspection. There's no gray area. We take so many pictures. We take over 800 pictures at the time of the home inspection. So, and our guys are educated in putting the right pictures in that they can read and see things without having any questions. So, yeah, reports are really reflect the diligence that we do on our inspections and the detail. And I think we're outstanding in that area. And the agents are really good at letting the buyers know, hey, this is a great company. They've been around for 36 years, and I've always worked with them. And just giving them reassurance. So, yes, and the buyers are listening to their agents, and it's been great.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Are you guys doing anything different today than before? Besides the face mask, even though you do use them when you go under the house or to the attic, but anything different?
Not much different. We're using, like you said, face masks, gloves, goggles. We have special face masks. They have to be number 95 face masks and gloves. And a lot of them are using glasses, these high-end glasses as well. They're just extra covering themselves. Usually when it gets a little warmer, they don't like to wear their suits, but they're covering up as much as they can. They're doing not too quick of an inspection. They're still doing thorough inspections, but they're just being very careful, and they're trying to be a little quicker than normal, but they're trained so well to call out everything that they need to call out. So not much different other than making sure that they're covered and they're carrying sanitary stuff. So
yeah. And just to stress, because we're still in stay-at-home order, even though we are essential business, it doesn't mean that agents can, go out to the site, and do whatever we normally did before. Just a note from our Rich, our broker, recommend that agents do not attend inspections. The inspector is capable of video conference if needed. Then of the inspection, of course, like you mentioned, Michael, send the report out and have a conversation video conference or whatever, like right, what we're doing right now. This is the new normal
Right.
right now, and it seems like it's been around forever.
Right. You're right.
Anything else you want to add, Michael, to the viewers?
Um, Not really. Other than, I mean, every office has a different policy, and I think they're leaning towards the agents not being there at the time of the inspection. But I just want everybody to know, if you're agent and you want to be there, you're adamant about being there, we have no problem. We're not kicking any agents out of the home inspection. So it's up to your office policy, but we're even willing to walk around with the clients if that's what they want. But we're suggesting you kind of have separation there as much as you can. But we understand agents, you want to be hands-on, we got it. But we do shoot a lot of videos. Our drones are droning rooftops now, so we are becoming more video savvy and more video friendly. Could be the new norm moving forward, but just trust me, if you guys have any suggestions, comments, we're willing to bend with you and work with you. Whatever you guys need, reach out to our office if there's some specifications, some specifics on the home inspection that you want, or your clients need something. You just let us know. We're here to accommodate them and make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, good point. And thank you for mentioning the drone as well, because this is another technology that you guys are using, and it's very helpful. But yeah, once again, I mean, I'm talking to all the agents out there. There's no, real reason to be present because, I mean, once again, this is, real crisis and, real risk that you cannot see it, but it's there. So let the professionals like yourself be out there and do their job, and you can go page by page afterwards,
Right.
and they're going to explain to you exactly what went down. So
Absolutely.
yeah, okay. Michael, thank you so much for your time and for the information.
Thank you.
Inspection professionals, just be safe out there, and thank you for your service.
All right, guys. Take care.
Okay, Louis, are you on the line? Louis Vasquez.
Yes, here.
Hey, Louis, good to have you.
Hello, everyone. My name's Louis Vasquez. I own Vasquez Baldwin Family. We're a CPA firm, and we're getting a lot of information, a lot of contacts, a lot of emails, inquiries about the whole stimulus package that was just passed. I want to go over some high-level aspects of it, so that way everyone's understanding. First thing is going to talk about is the stimulus checks that everyone is going to get, okay? So with the stimulus package, if you're single and you make if you make less than $75,000 per year single, you will qualify for the full $1,200 if you're single. If you're married filing jointly, if total adjusted gross income is $150,000 and less, you will qualify for the full $1,200 per spouse. If you go over these thresholds, they knock off $5 per $100 you're over the thresholds. So, for example, if you're single and you make $99,000 and above, you won't qualify for the stimulus checks. So it's $1,200 per person. If you're married filing jointly, then that would be one for you, one for your spouse. And then you get $500 per kid that you support. So a family of 4 would get $2,400 for the parents, and then another $1,000 for the kids. So you would get $3,400 in total. That's pretty much how it's working, and they're going off of your adjusted gross income, okay, AGI. So adjusted gross income is typically your income after retirement contributions, alimony, if you have an alimony commitment, student loan interest, and also retirement contributions. So it's after that number, not your total income, it's your adjusted gross income is what they're going off of. And then if you have not filed, so what happened, they're going off of prior year tax returns to figure out where you're at. So if you haven't filed for 2019, really the only people that have filed for 2019 are people who get refunds every year. For the majority of business owners, they're still in the process of getting everything prepared. So if you haven't filed for 2019, they're going to go off of your 2018 tax return. If you have already filed for 2019, they will go off of your 2019 tax return. If you're behind on filing, happens all the time. We understand sometimes you get behind. If you're behind on filing, they're going to be releasing a streamlined process to get your filings up to date. So we're not sure exactly what that means, but it's very likely going to be a special address that you'll be able to mail prior year tax returns that you're behind on, and they'll approve them quickly. And I would not be surprised if they waive penalties for late filing. So this would potentially help people out who are behind on tax filings, because typically when you're behind on tax filings, what really kills you, what really hurts you, is the late filing penalties. Happy to answer any questions on this if anyone has any questions. In terms of the money being direct deposited, they're going to go off of the bank account information that you supplied on a prior year return for 2018 or for 2019. Now, if you have not supplied any bank account information to the government, primarily the only people that supply bank account information are people who are due refunds. But if you're a business owner and you typically owe every year, what they're going to go off of is they're going to create a portal. They're going to have a portal, an online portal, where you supply the government your bank account information, and then they'll be direct depositing into your bank. I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has any on the whole stimulus checks.
Yeah, thanks, Louis. I'm going to tune into questions as they come. Can you just explain? Can you break down the difference between also timeline-wise between whoever's filing as individual or LLC, S corp, and etc.?
Yeah, so they did extend basically everything. They've extended everything. No extensions needed to be filed, but they gave everyone until, instead of April 15th, you now have until July 15th. And July 15th is both an extension of time to file and an extension of time to pay. I personally think that every year they should have a deadline of July 15th. I think it's ridiculous that April 15th, 4 months after the prior year closes, you have to get everything arranged. I think it's an archaic process. 4 months to get a whole year of activity reported correctly to the government is just not enough time. Well, they're going through with my, thought process, July 15th, and then we're not really sure yet what's going to happen from then in terms of extension. So are we going to, if you don't meet the July 15th, when is the new extension deadline? We're not sure, but it's, again, an extension of both time to file and time to pay. Typically with the extensions, it's just an extension of time to file. They start accruing penalties for late payments. So it's an extension of both. July 15th is the new deadline.
Great point. And once again, guys, whatever questions you have, you can either text me or over here on the app, just excuse me, tap your questions. Question from Katrine. She asks, so they automatically transfer to our account. We don't need to apply anywhere. Am I right?
One more time on that question. Sorry.
I think it was regarding your previous when you mentioned about you paying to the bank account or what have you. The question is, they don't need to do anything. They're going to transfer the money automatically to the account.
Yeah. So what this is essentially is going to be is it's a tax credit that they're giving us. So it's no different than having a refund due to yourselves. They will deposit the money into your bank account. So it's money that's on the way.
Got it. Okay.
And the money's not taxable. It's not taxable. We're not paying any income tax. It's free and clear cash.
And that's like I mean, once again, there's no people don't owe this back as a loan, correct?
Okay, so that's another half of the stimulus package that I'll get into shortly right after. But no, this money that you're going to get, the stimulus checks, is the whole point of it is the government wants to give people money so that people can take the money and spend it to stimulate the economy. That's the whole point of it. $1,200 for someone single or married filing jointly, $2,400. If we were all living in Kansas, that would probably cover, rent for probably 3 months. If we were in Kansas or Wyoming or some other flyover state. I understand that in Southern California, $1,200 probably covers the rent for your bathroom or your mortgage for your bathroom. So obviously our day-to-day costs of living are much higher. And then, for California, $75,000 and below, I actually did a calculation for one of my employees that's trying to really get her finances. We calculated that you need to make $70,000 a year just to cover the basic cost of living in Southern California. So, they don't take into account, the fact that it's a very expensive state to live in. It's just a universal, with all the 50 states, threshold. So, but it's free money, you guys, free money.
Right. Okay.
I can get into the loan aspects for the business owners. This is probably the big one that everyone's waiting for.
Sure. And then just one question before you're going to proceed is the question is from when will the portal be on or available to provide bank information or whatever it is, or do they just go by the previous information?
Yeah, great question. Great question. So if you guys were to go to the IRS's website and typed in stimulus package guidance, the IRS literally on their website says, don't call us. We don't know yet. That's essentially what the IRS has said because this bill just got signed. But, we're part of the AICPA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. The AICPA is the people that were behind the whole aspect of extending this deadline, and they're part of really the whole process of this. The AICPA, they've informed us, kind of like in the inside scoop, that there will be a portal being created. That's all the information I have, is that the portal will be coming out. As far as when, I'm not sure, but it's gonna. This whole aspect, this whole stimulus thing is gonna be happening very, very quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the week, beginning of next week, the portal's available.
Right. Thanks, Louis. Good info. So keep going about the second part.
So now the big thing is the Paycheck Protection Program loan. So the Paycheck Protection Program loan. This is available to small business owners. As soon, us having a CPA firm that's primarily specializes in small to medium-sized businesses, as soon as the government started shutting down businesses, I said the government's going to have to do something to bail out small business owners, because small business owner after small business owner was essentially having to really look at their cash reserves and survive off of that. So that's what they've done, the Paycheck Protection Program. So how this works is, this is primarily for people with employees, okay? Primarily for people with employees. So they're going to look at your prior year payroll tax returns and W-2s. That's what they're going to look at. What did you file in terms of payroll prior year, okay? For those of us with payroll, you're going to take the payroll from prior year. Let's say your annual payroll is $100,000 a year. You get 2.5 of that. So if someone with payroll of $100,000 a year, you would be eligible for a loan of 2.5, which would be $250,000. You're going to be eligible for that. The portion of the loan that you use essentially from now through June 30th, the portion of the loan that's used for rent and payroll, the portion of the loan that's used for rent and payroll will be forgiven. Okay, so it's essentially going to be free money so that everyone can maintain staff. For those of us without employees, if you're looking for a very, very cost-effective loan, okay, the interest rate on this loan is only 4%, everyone. So the government is essentially applying an interest rate of the rate of inflation. That's all you're paying for is inflation. The government is not making any money off of this loan. It's going to be a 4% loan with a term of up to 10 years.
Wow.
Okay, so a lot of time to pay it back at an interest rate that's next to nothing. Okay, I think the student loan interest rates are higher than this. It's up to 10 years. There will be no personal guarantee needed. Okay, no personal guarantee or collateral. So they're taking the collateral and the personal guarantee out of the equation. The SBA, the Small Business Administration, essentially the federal government is going to be the collateral on these loans. So if you can prove how to figure out how they're going to prove it, very likely they're going to rely on prior year tax returns. Very, 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 very likely. So if you have employees, you'll want to get linked up with your local loan officer at your local bank, or if you have a connection at the SBA, start figuring out what you can do to get your piece of this pie, because they've calculated that small business owners will lose $1.2 trillion over the next 3 months in terms of lost revenue. So $1.2 trillion will be lost. The amount for the pot for this loan is $350 billion. So it's going to really be who can get to the well the fastest. So some money that is available. 4% loan forgiven if you use the loan for rent, office rent, and office labor, employee labor. that portion will be forgiven. Only 4% with a payment terms of 10 years. So that's something. This is called the Paycheck Protection Program. The biggest aspect that will be impacted as small business owners is that there is a lot of money available to us.
Louis, and let me tell you, I mean, this is great because there's a lot of things that are unclear out there, and you pretty much broke down the PPP.
Right?
Yeah, in a very simple way. So this is really good information. Thank you for that. A question is, so most agents, they're 1099s, and they don't have employees or don't run payroll. So are they going to enjoy the benefit of the PPP?
Yes.
Or?
So if you're a solo agent and you're looking for cash right now, you would qualify for this PPP. It's just the fact that you don't have employees, you're not going to have any portion of this loan that's going to be forgiven. If you had an assistant or if you have a team and you have someone on payroll, the portion of the loan that is being used to fund that person's payroll would be forgiven. But the silver lining is it's essentially free money at a 4% interest rate. So there is going to be some money that's available to everyone. How you're going to qualify for the loan if you're like a solo agent or just a 1099 contractor without a team or without anyone's staff, I'm not 100% sure on how that qualification is going to go. But again, you still get the aspect of no personal guarantee. So they're not going to look at your personal credit. You don't have to put up personal collateral. And again, the collateral that's being serviced here is the SBA, the federal government.
Okay. So a few more questions.
Happy to answer the questions, guys.
Yeah. What if you're a business that has both employees and 1099s? How do you go about that?
Great question. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to take into account the 1099 contractors, because what's happening now with 1099 contractors is that you're eligible for unemployment, if you guys are not aware of that. If you applied for unemployment, very likely you're going to receive it. So your 1099 contractors, they'll be able to essentially apply for unemployment. So I'm not sure how they're going to take into account the 1099 contractors, but this is more along the lines for the employees, the people that you have control that are on salary that get issued W-2s. So they may take into effect the contractors, but in order to prove the contractors, you're very likely going to have to show them the 1099s that were filed.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, thank you. What? How do we know when to apply?
I would literally go to your bank right now, your local bank. They should already know about this, and there should already be an application that you can start pre-qualifying for. So I would do this like if you have nothing to do today, this should be a priority on your list. So I would get in touch with your banker ASAP. I've already on Friday last week, we started reaching out to one of our bank associates to start getting this process going, and he actually knew more than I did.
So the process can be done only through lenders, approved lenders, bankers?
Approved lenders. There's 1,800 approved lenders. So, your major players, your Bank of America, Chase Bank, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, the major banking institutions, they're all going to be taken care of. It's just, make sure that they're aware of the Paycheck Protection Program. And if you ask them questions and they're not 100% sure of your answers, if you feel like they don't know what they're talking about, I would really go look for someone that has, probably a more seasoned player here that kind of knows how the game works. The government has already announced too that they're trying to fund loans. They're trying to fund, so that means cash in banks available to use by Friday.
Right, and I also advise to be patient as well. Not patient with waiting to get more information. As we're doing right now, we're giving you the information. So go and take action, but be patient with the length of the process. If everything would come from the federal government directly, that would be like instantly. but it doesn't work like that because it has to go to the bureaucracy of all those other players, right? Louis, another question. Unemployment, even if now deemed as essential service. Well, I'm not sure what. Rich, if you can just retype your question, I'm not sure what you're asking. Sorry. Is this loan the same as the stimulus package forgiveness loan?
Yes, this is
loan
exactly what I'm
assistance.
talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This part of the loan, part of the stimulus package, Manny hit it, the PPP. This is called the Paycheck Protection Program.
Say it 3 times fast.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Louis, great info. What other insight can you give us? And once again, I know that you guys are out there as well, as much as we are. There's a lot of uncertainty, and even if you say, hey, okay, we have this, there's not any availability or tools yet or access or whatever. Do you?
Yeah, pretty much kind of like what we're doing over here is we're really looking at everyone. Let's say you had a really good year, 2018, and you're above the stimulus check thresholds of $75,000 single or $150,000 married filing jointly. Let's say 2018 you had a good year and you were above that threshold. But 2019, last year, which we're filing for, let's say you had a slower year and you're below the threshold, I would really take a look at your financial situation. If you're below the threshold this year, let's say there's a year-over-year change, make sure you file your 2019 tax return as soon as possible. Absolutely as soon as possible. If you're behind on tax filings, if you haven't filed a couple years, I would wait a week. I wouldn't start filing immediately. I would wait another week and wait for what the IRS does because they're going to streamline prior year filings. So I would wait to see what the IRS announces, and I would not be surprised so that the IRS can get to encourage people to file if they're behind on filings. I wouldn't be surprised if they also waive penalties. So I would pump the brakes if I'm behind on filing. I would hit the gas if I had a year-over-year big change in terms of 2018, a really good year, 2019, a slow year. So if you had a slower year in 2019, file so that way you're not getting anything impacted on your stimulus check with the thresholds.
Yeah, good tip for sure. And so here's another question. So let's say most people didn't file their 2019 taxes, right? Everything happened, usually during the time that people are kind of like, oh my God, it's in 2 weeks,
Sure.
4 weeks, or whatever. So will that create additional delay between all those stimulus packages and applications to filing the taxes? Will it create like additional weeks of whatever delay, so people might lose the opportunity to get the benefit of the PPP?
Yeah. PPP primarily is going to be going off of payroll tax returns, which if you have employees, those are filed every quarter. And then if you have contractors, let's say you have contractors, you should have already filed your 1099s by January 31st. So a lot of those deadlines have already passed. I would really ask the loan officer, what is it that needs to happen? Ask the loan officer, because it's kind of like whenever we're working on a client of potentially one of yours, the client wants to get it pre-approved for a home. I always have the loan officer take a look at the tax return before we file it, because I don't want to file a tax return and then have to amend it because the loan officer said, oh, we should do this so I can get them approved for more money. So really, that's why I would really recommend, a more seasoned loan officer at the bank, not the kid fresh out of college. Nothing wrong with the kid fresh out of college, but really talk to someone that's seasoned in this arena so that way they can give you the experience and the advice that you're looking for. So really consult with the loan officer if you're 2018's file and you're rushing in 2019, see what they have to say.
Right. Do you is there any information online, like a link of some kind or a reliable source you can share of what kind of bankers or lending institutes people can reach out to?
I'm not sure if they've released, qualified channels yet, but
Uh-huh.
the major players are already part of it. Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, all those major players. And then also the SBA. If you can get an appointment with someone from the Small Business Administration, I'm sure there's multiple ones in Calabasas, multiple offices. Probably someone that would be a good person to get on, Manny, potentially for next week. Someone from the SBA, if you could do
Right.
that, because I'm sure they'll have even more inside scoop, or maybe even a loan officer from a local bank. But I would just, you don't want to go to the Paycheck Loan Center down the street for the Paycheck Protection Program. I don't think they're going to be qualified. But major institutions are definitely gonna already meet the approval process.
Right. Yeah. Good insight as well. Here's the previous question. Can agents, that's a good one. Can agents still apply for unemployment even though they are now essential services? They are technically
Yeah,
able to work. And if they're actually going, so it's kind of like a catch-22, right? We're essential, we can work, and we file unemployment. And
right,
if they
right.
do file unemployment, how does that affect their, I don't know, their benefits or whatever they can benefit from right now with all the stimulus?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not 100% sure. Um, you'd probably want to ask the EDD. The EDD has a really good EDD is the Employment Development Department, California EDD. They're the ones in charge of unemployment. They have a really good portal on their website for direct instant message chatting. That's probably a technical question that they would probably be answering, because that's a really good question. Now that you can essentially work, right? That would potentially disallow your ability to claim unemployment. I'm not sure, unfortunately, on that question. That's a really good question that I just
No,
don't have the answer for.
yeah, that's a fair question. And by the way, if you're watching right now as well, so look at your chat box. I shared the two links, one to the EDD regarding the unemployment, and the other one is the SBA, all the disaster assistance programs. So if you have questions about that, just plug in over there. The information is pretty much available there, to what we are looking for. Other questions you guys might have, or Louis, anything else you want to share?
Yeah, really make it a priority to get a piece of the pie of the Paycheck Protection Program, because once they run out of the $350 billion, that money's going to be gone. We're also very uncertain with how long we're going to have this statewide lockdown. If this continues through June, I wouldn't be surprised if the IRS pushes back the filing deadline even further. So, we're all kind of in limbo right now, but like Manny said, check out the SBA. Start doing the proactive work now, so that way, as soon as everything is streamlined, you're already starting ahead in terms of being pre-approved and getting a piece of this pie on this Paycheck Protection Program. Say that 5 times fast. That is a tough one.
It's a tough one. Well, it's a tough one all across the board, for sure. And we're going to try to find more reliable information for you guys when it comes to those approved lenders or what have you. We just want to be picky on the sources of information, not
Sure.
from the news, but from actual, right channels. If we don't have any other questions, I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're good. Louis, that was brilliant. I really appreciate your time, and I know that you're back home with the little one over there, babysitting, CPAing part time. So thank you for your time as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm sure Manny can let them know what our contact information is, and we can do our best to get back to everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Louis, thank you so much. Louis Vasquez with the Vasquez family tax and bookkeeping and accounting firm. Once again, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Michael Johnson with Elite Inspection. And big thank you to Alicia Weintraub, the mayor of City of Calabasas. She was at the beginning of the call. This call is recorded, and we're going to share it on Facebook afterwards. And guys, be well, be safe. Stay focused, stay on task, stay engaged. Every day we're sending you a list in the morning of what's happening, what's going on training-wise, education-wise. different sources of information. We're going to have more in-depth session like that with Louis and other professionals of how to apply. We'll take you step by step to make sure that you're going to get what you should get. And once again, whatever support we can give you, we're here to serve exactly as you. And don't forget, every day reach out to your people, family, sphere, friends, neighbors, and even strangers, just to share with you something really, really small. I have a Nest camera at my house, and Nest has this really cool feature that all the neighbors sharing information, hey, watch out for this car or this person or this guy is stealing backpacks and whatever, right? Or the lost dog or cat. Yesterday, this sweet older lady sent out a message that the topic was help. And instantly, I think like dozens of people replied, what's wrong, what's going on? It's just the sweet couple, elderly couple stuck in the house, don't want to leave the house because they're afraid of, to go outside. And they didn't ask for money or anything whatsoever, just ask for food. So just to bring to your attention that we don't feel the impact of the crisis yet as much, most of us, but we're gonna get there. So reach out to whoever you can reach out. Even if you know that they're fine, ask them, who do you know that might need something? And if you have, we had great person on the call a few days ago, Doug Huberman with Lexington Property Management. Those guys out there in the field helping people. They're repping, tenants and landlords. Call those kind of resources and ask, hey, who do you know? Maybe it's elderly people or people with other issues and whatever, lack of resources. And we need to be creative to see how we can help, because once again, we don't want to at the same time risk ourselves and the public by being exposed or exposing someone else. At the same time, when it comes to be essential, some people might be upset about, be essential, or why, they're essential, we're not essential. But guess what? You can turn this essential to not just about our business and our real estate and our sales and whatever, because it's not just about that. We are in a service business. To turn this essential into, I'm an essential person who can help other people. And take action by doing that. Of course, less interaction as possible with the public, but at the same time, someone got to help those people. So stay on it. Thanks, everybody. Be well, be safe. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.